Okay, seems like I have some problems with the stream. Okay, well, see if it works now. So I'm just gonna quickly block out the sign first a bit. So the toolkit basically makes mesh ops much easier to work with, or specifically Boolean mesh ops. So before you had to go into the mesh ops tree and basically set it up every time you wanted to do a new Boolean. So what we have now instead is like a small menu. So I can take this and I can turn it into a Boolean. Oh, shaded mode. There we go. So now this is a mesh up, and then I can just take this geo and then I can just use the subtract, and then this automatically gets added as a Boolean. And now maybe I want to add model something more in this layer, like this, and I can just, you know, model on it live. One of the biggest problems with Booleans in Modo is that they get quite heavy quite fast, and this is a way to get around that, because you can create new mesh ops all the time for like separate pieces, so not every piece is one big operator. So that basically that saves a lot of performance, and you're free to use sub-D geo. So I can just take this one and just turn it to sub-D, including weighting. And it automatically sets up all your drivers to be transparent and so on. You can do. And if you, for example, have overlapping meshes in the same subtract layer, you can just make it into an alternate subtract, so then you have like two different layers. And then if you want to, you can just take this geo and then make for example union, so it adds this first in the stack before it does the subtracts. Example. So I want to take the base geo here and basically just harden it up. Let's do that. You can also run, you know, intersects as well. So, for example, if you take something like this, and it just basically does that to the whatever is under your mouse when you release. This. So that's pretty cool for just, you know, exploring things. Yeah, this video will be up on my YouTube. But for example, say that I want to start working on this one now, and I want to make, you know, some booleans on it and stuff. And now you can set all of these to hotkeys via like a menu. So here you have all the different features plus some ones that we like are not available in the pie menu, like freezing and just cleaning things up and resetting the visibility. So once you actually turn this into hotkeys, it gets extremely simple. So now I just created like a new setup here. So this mesh that was under the mouse got turned into the base layer, and the geo that I had selected turned into subtract Boolean. And then you can just keep on modeling like normal in the layer. Like this. And it allows you to do a lot of pretty cool exploring of shapes. Especially when you start getting into intersects and so on. Eh. Ah. So you can have a lot of fun just trying things out. Okay, I'm gonna go back to this one because it's not supposed to look like this. Start modeling a bit more properly. Yeah, I basically just applied a smoothing group to one of the meshes. So this one here, I just applied a smoothing group to it. And then it just makes a smoothing group along the cut. And the cool thing is that I haven't quite been able to tell exactly when and why it happens, but the cool thing is like it keeps the geometry from the cutters, or like the UVs from the cutters, in a way that you can actually I was doing some low poly modules, and I could actually UV the cutters, and then I got the UV'd cutouts from them. That was pretty cool. I did not think that would happen, but it did. It is a gun, I guess you can say. Some kind of very sci-fi energy gun. Clean this up a little bit. It's a bit too sloppy at the beginning. Yeah, you can use it in default as well. I just use it in advanced because it's sexier. And because I can. Yeah, it's super simple. There's like a command for it. You only need to, like, there's two ways to do it. You can either do it via the toolkit, or you can just do it by right-clicking on this one and then just freeze, duplicate and freeze. And I just have that on a hotkey as well, because that also leaves you with the base still there, but inactive. Okay, now my cat is walking here, so if it turns everything off, you know why. Yeah, it really allows you to be quite crazy. This is a standalone. It does work with Polystyrene though, because you know, Polystyrene just works with normal mode of modeling, but also, and this just works on top of everything. So okay, so let's do more cutouts. Maybe the secondary. And what's really cool about this is that it really allows you to just design things on the fly. Like, it's extremely fun to just play around with things. Plus you have the full benefits of the fact that it's just a normal polygonal modeler. So another feature is pretty useful is that when you have all these cutters and many different operators, it's can be a bit messy. So what you can do is that you can just hide all of them. Oh, is this one not? Oh. Okay. Show that in a second, just to make sure. Yeah, so there's just a toggle visibility script that just toggles all the drivers on and off. Yeah, I would love to have something like Decal Machine. I've been thinking about that because there are a few things Decal Machine does that Model can't do, rendering wise, basically. But other than that, I don't see a reason why you couldn't have it. So the idea of this whole thing is that it's some kind of energy weapon. I'm gonna add another one like this up here. I don't want to do that yet. But these work well with groups and so on, so you can just instance something. I used like really awkward keys because all my hotkeys are taken. No, I don't have any work plane set when I draw primitives. There are a few primitive drawing tools basically that I have seen that I should grab, but I haven't, you know, yet had the opportunity to do it, aka I'm being lazy. So this is the fun part. You can just try stuff like this out. And if it works, it's like you can just grab this, put in a new layer, then I'll take this base mesh and I will turn it into a intersect. It's just a lot of fun. Yeah, these are like without macros, like there are no macros involved at all. This is only running the commands from the pie menu, nothing else. So that's the cool part about it. You don't need to set things up really. The only thing you need to do is you know, if you want to, you put a hotkey, but that's it. Nothing else is needed. Yeah, it works with sub-D cutouts. I was showing that earlier, but I can show it again. For example, if we have this one here. And we just want to do a cutout, and then we're like, nah, let's make a sub-D cutout. Keep it. post. Yeah, okay, I was just gonna post the link actually. To beat them to the punch. But yeah, it's, the best part about it is, I think, is the, you know, the experimentation. You can just try whatever you want. So the folders are what's created when you're using the tool. So there you get, like, all the layers and everything gets created automatically. Pretty much. So and of course the cutters and the base meshes also work with, you know, materials, so you can just that. So you can have the cutouts and materials and so on. Yeah, and it's very stable, so in general it doesn't really crash. Like, I have not, okay, you know, fingers crossed, I haven't had a single crash from the tool so far. I mean, well, it crashes occasionally, but nothing from the from just this, you know, just using the tool. Okay, so let's do some fun stuff here. So the Seneca booleans, you can still use them because when you model regularly, you can still use them whenever you want, right? So if you don't feel like, you know, making something like destructive or like non-destructive, you can use them. It's also good, like if you have finalized some parts of your design, you might as well just grab those and then just convert it basically. So as you see here, it starts to get sluggish. When I'm working with this, like it's not bad, but you know, it's still starting to get sluggish. So I can just, you know, branch off from this part into like a new one. Wow, that's good. Okay. Okay, now that I know that I want to have this, I'm gonna make annoying cutouts. Yeah, well, it's not rendered polygons is like never the problem, like ever. I mean, you have to go like extremely high for that to be the problem. But when you're making the booleans and so on, you're doing it on every polygon in the layer all the time. So that's why it's so that's why it gets choppy. And it's just too easy to do this stuff. So it's extremely fun to just play around with this. I just want to do some. Like that. I mean, now I'm just doodling on this thing here, but you know, it's, I don't know, it's fun. I'm having fun. I think this is the most fun I've had ever modeling. It's just because, you know, you can do a lot of this kind of stuff, you know, in other applications and so on, like Fusion and all that, but it's also not like a normal polygon modeling tool. So which is, you know, the whole point of this, to have that kind of power, but in regular Modo. You know, to bypass Modo's weaknesses. It is pretty fucking crazy. It's fun. And the thing is, like, this is just, you know, getting started. I mean, if you're like an advanced user, you can do way more with it. Like now I'm just, basically this is just the start. I'm just using the regular things, nothing complex. Like you can start, you know, stacking these together, for example, so they drive each other and so on. Like, you know, if you start going into like the details of it. So yeah, it's fabulous. Concept art is already to a large extent 3D. I mean, there are tons of concept artists using 3D at least as a base, so I think it's just gonna continue like that. Oh, wait, now I'm gonna do another cool thing. So, wait, I just have to show you, because this is cool. So, I want to do like a little cut in this thing here. I'm just gonna use the pen tool with the wall node. Okay, something like this, whatever. Cool. Let's make it sub D so it's like smooth and nice. And then we just cut it. Okay. Retopo is great because you can just undo all the tiny detailing, and you know, you can undo whatever you want. You can just remove them. So Retopo is easy, I would say. Okay, so for this one, is this one even part of something yet? No, actually, maybe let's do that. Just want to get rid of this part down there. Okay. Okay, that's wrong one. So in this one I wanted to do a little thing. No. And then I just thicken this. Ah. Okay. Let's see if we can have fun. No, wait, that's full. Yeah, so you can also like turn on things like the RayGL viewport and have fun with it. No, I haven't set up the maybe, yeah, rounded edge. A little bit how it looks. Okay, whatever. Off. Oh, I totally forgot about this cube I just left here. Okay. And something that's pretty cool is that you can combine this with, like, for example, the polystyrene kit and make a low poly cutter geo that you use with the polystyrene kit, or subdies if you want to, but let's be reasonable. I mean, I have not used Lightwave since like forever, so I'm really out of touch on what they have done with it. I jumped ship a long time ago. And I haven't met anyone who uses Lightwave either in like a decade. So you tell me. So because it's so easy to set them up, it's I just, you know, make booleans out of everything. So now I can just go in and play around. It's like, yeah, this is pretty cool. But I also want I have to shut the balcony door because the neighbors are murdering each other or something again. Anyway, I was saying something. Totally important. And now it's like this one is not so smooth, for example, the base mesh. So I'm just gonna turn it to sub-D and it just works. So fucking nice. Okay, we're pretty far in. Sure what we do. Let's yeah, but as you can see, it starts to get quite heavy now. So sometimes when I do that, I just cheat and I just move it out to another layer. Because I already know what I want to do, because I want to make a little thing. There. This one's a bit trickier. And basically, the subdiv stuff, it gets heavier the more polygons you have, so you can use things like a low subdiv level and then, you know, it's much faster, but and then you can basically crank up the level when you're done, when you're not, you know, so interactive with it anymore. But where's the fun in that? See if we can. Well, okay. Testing. This is a very uncomfortable gun, and I am very aware of that, but the aliens have very nice hands. They can handle it. Can get a bit tricky to reach things. That's one of the downsides when you have like many overlapping cutters and so on. No, it does not. You have to buy it separately. Nope. Not you. One cutter. So this tool, I mean, it helps a lot with, you know, modeling speed in general, but for me the biggest the biggest win is that I can actually, you know, design with more confidence. So it just makes me into a, you know, better designer. Because it allows me to, because I'm always, you know, rushing things, and this allows me to go back and forth much more and you know, take stock, but still keep all the things in my workflow. And you know, and that goes for anyone that will use it, that use Modo, because it doesn't change your normal modeling workflow, it just adds on top of it, which is great. So that is very, very nice.
This is the machinery he controls. The machinery that controls his destiny. That controls the destiny of the people who call him champion. With the flick of a switch, he powers up the machine. Its giant frame shimmers to life. Its eyes glow blood red. The symbiotic thirst between man and machine has been awakened, and can only be slaked on the field of battle. This is no gentleman's sport. This is war.
Okay. Anyway, we should continue with the design part a bit more instead of just doodling. I say, and then I keep doodling. Okay, that looks fun. Steal this. And then do that. No, I wouldn't retopple. It would bake fine. I mean, it depends. It depends on how picky you are with your bakes and what you're baking for. The round edge shader do leave some imperfections, but other than that, no, not really. Well, Mesh Fusion has huge advantages when it comes to what it's good at, and it's good at. Oh man, I feel it's good at, you know, having the intersections, like the using the whatever they call the lines that they create, so you can actually smooth out the intersection and control them however you want. So Mesh Fusion is really powerful. So this and Mesh Fusion do not do the same thing. This is much easier to use than Mesh Fusion when it comes to a lot of things, you know, which is why we created it. But it does not do exactly the same thing. So it depends on what you use Mesh Fusion for. Yeah, I mean, this gets sluggish as well, quite fast when you do sub-D meshes and so on. But it's not that often you need to create one piece that you need to keep as a live boolean for that long. So that's good. Yeah, that's one of my hopes, that it can do that and better performance. That would be very nice. But even then, you would like to keep it separate. But you know, that would just be nice to have. Yes, make it more user friendly. Because the thing is, like, the problem is that you actually have to work to find workarounds, while you shouldn't have to do that. Then again, you're asking quite a lot of the program, so sure, but who cares about how the program feels? Yep, still on that processor. Now I'm just, you know, zombie modeling. But it's nice, it removes a lot of the thinking. And if you bought anything from me on Gumroad, you have $20 off. Just so you know. Can I grab a copy? Wait, this doesn't sound like my music. It's not! Shame on you. No, I have no references. I'm just doodling things right now. Just, you know, the beauty of it. Some little thing. Okay, these two are gonna be best friends. If you bought things from me, you should have an email already. It tells you how to get the discount. Okay, let's see. Can we do something? I mean, one of the things that I find myself doing a lot now with this tool is unions. Because unions are not the kind of things that, you know, you want to try when you are doing it like non-destructively, because you don't know. I mean, it's just so complex to wrap your head around. Like, I can't figure this shit out in my head, but now I don't have to. So now I can do weird shit. And just, you know, have happy accidents every day. Well, I wouldn't re-topo it into a new high poly mesh, is what I mean. If I would make a low poly, then I would bake from this model. I mean, probably would need some adjustments because this is not how you make models. I mean, the high poly part, it's too many small holes and shit. I need to go back and fix that, but other than that, well. Actually, this didn't even do anything. Fuck it. Yeah, from my Gumroad. Too much fun. Some Polish store. Okay. That's a good tip for the future. Yeah, I hope mine lasts for many more years, and then I can find, like, you know, a suitable replacement. So a lot of the things that they fixed in Mode 11 allowed this, you know, kit to happen as well, because before the Booleans were, like the meshups in general, were a bit unstable and they had crashes in some cases. But now it's, you know, much more stable. Wait, what? Wrong. So you can do things like clone things so it's on top of each other without everything just breaking, dying. Where in Poland is it? Out of curiosity, because I was in Warsaw like yesterday, actually. Thanks. My wife is in Poland for a couple of weeks. Maybe I can get her to grab me some and bring with her home. You know, typical stuff you buy when you're abroad. Refurbished computer mice. Okay. Oh, over an hour already. Time flies. When you're having booleans. Ah, come on. So the only thing I didn't put a hotkey on yet is the union command, because I was like, I'm not gonna use union, and then it turns out I use union like shitloads. Oh, actually that's not half bad. I mean, could almost have called this tool like happy little accidents, because that's what I have. It's like my whole design is, like my design knowledge is basically based on happy little accidents, so that's just fitting. Love it, Mule. I wish I had this tool when I was doing the robot streams. That would be so fun. Oh man. Oh man, I don't want to do another of those robot things. I mean, I do because it was super fun, but Jesus, that was exhausting. I was not prepared. I mean, I knew it was gonna be exhausting, but I still wasn't prepared. If I had prepared with, you know, like, had some of the designs worked out beforehand or whatever, it would have been a lot easier, but then where's the challenge? I've never been to Lithuania. I used to live in Warsaw, so I knew it fairly well. I know it fairly well. And I'm there like almost every year still. So. Okay, now we're gonna do something fun. We're gonna grab all of these. And let's see. What? I think that's gonna do it. Because since these are actually just, you know, another item, you can just instance them as well. So I was just hiding all the cutters and stuff because, you know, which is boring. It's in the way. Let's see if we can grab all of these now. Could be tricky. I think that's all of them. And this one. Ah! Come on. Okay. No! I actually selected that one. Nope, I did not select all of them. Missed. No. So it's gonna be a bit tricky. How do I even get this? There. Oops. That might have made Modo sad. Yeah, exactly, the specs are like he said. I think I made Modo sad. Too many booleans at once. Ah, don't die. Come on. Yeah, I think I overdid it. I just cloned the Boolean on top of itself 6 times. Ha! It lives! Okay, maybe I shouldn't drag it. Okay, bad idea. Come back to me. Yeah, maybe I should have saved. I saved kinda before I did this. So whatever. Come on. Let's start a new one anyway. Come on, Moto. Oh, yes. No, it doesn't. I just haven't logged in. Ah, fuck you. Oh man, before I did that. Okay, you didn't come back. Come on. Okay. Whatever. Okay, please. Go away. Okay. Okay. So, instancing the items works perfectly fine every time. It's when you try to instance the components, because basically if you instance the components and then move them at the same time as you're moving the entire hierarchy, you will basically get double transformations, so it will mess up. But just doing it once is fine. On just the item, I mean. That just works. I've actually been using that so that I actually do some rather complicated component of a design, like, you know, some joint or whatever, and then you can instance that like everywhere, and then when you want to do the low poly or whatever, you can actually simplify it everywhere at once as well, which is pretty nice. Wait, is this... Hey you. There. Too many Chrome tabs. Where's my stream? There it is. Okay. Whoa. So, one of the things that I really like about this is that previously when I was using my using the rounded shader like for almost everything, I had this period where I kind of limited my designs because of what the rounded edge shader and, you know, normal booleans could do. But now that it's working with sub-D as well, I don't need to limit my designs in that way, or like I don't do it as much subconsciously, which is really nice because I feel like I'm not losing anything in my designs because of my choice of workflow. Oh, what time are we looking at? Well, if you mean that the fact that it's a Boolean, well, yes, because that's how Booleans work and have always worked. Can have some fun with this. Should I? No, let's do this instead. Another one. Yeah, we do. Yeah, it's airtight. So there's two ways to start. So first of all, you need to take a mesh, and then you need to fire the pie menu, which is like it's Control-Shift-X by default. And then you can either create a MOP Boolean and it will set this one up as the base mesh, or you can just take another piece like this, and then you can just run the, for example, the subtract, and it will take both of these continuous meshes. That's that, really. I mean, you're not unwrapping the high poly, but the cool thing is what you can actually do is that you can unwrap the base meshes before the booleans, and then they are actually unwrapped at the boolean seams. So that's really fucking cool. It doesn't work 100% though, so don't trust me completely on that. And now I'm gonna do this the other way instead. Yeah, non-crash away. I will make environments again, definitely. I mean, I am working on environment art like a lot, but nothing that I can, you know, show anyone. So my love for environment art is still the same as always. I can assure you that. It's just I don't get to show it. How are we looking? A little bit shit, but that's okay. That's way longer than I wanted it to be, actually. Well, I do save time in the unwrap as well. There's a much bigger need for environment artists than there is character artists in general, I think. Environment teams tend to be bigger as well. It's just more work to do the environments and to do the characters for a game. Yeah, it definitely needs glow a bit. Well, I prefer the sci-fi. Simple as that. Well, why not save time in both modeling and unwrap? I'm not sure what you guys are talking about. Why would you lose time in unwrapping? I'm not sure what you guys are talking about. Well, this yeah, well, this doesn't create more complex geometry than anything else. Plus, you wouldn't unwrap this anyway, you would make a low poly version. And even if you were to unwrap this complex geometry that you're talking about, I mean, you can actually unwrap it before it becomes complex, that's the thing. So, you save time. Like, it doesn't matter how you see, like, you know, doesn't matter how you look on it, it's, you actually save time. Well, I don't know. I could make a low poly out of this pretty quick. No. How about this one? Maybe. Okay, I think we're starting to come to an end of today's stream. But Ugh. Yeah, the hatchet tools have a discount, and and my customers have a discount. I don't think the discount stack though, but then it wouldn't be much left. Okay. That has to be it for today. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna post some renders of this later maybe, but it's so unfinished. I don't know if I can be bothered. Thanks for watching.